What an incredible journey this is. I'm grateful for all I am learning, now even filming and editing YouTube videos. It's perfect practice for what I teach, especially when setting up my camera in public with people watching. Who would have thought at 59 I'd be creating content for YouTube? I mean, at 55, I believed it was too late for change. Now I knew better. Life is really, really good. 5 years ago, I did not have the freedom that I have today to make my own choices and not needing to ask for permission before I travel or spend a weekend with a friend or go shopping or anything. I lived in a marriage where my husband had all the money and I had lost my company and all my money, so I was dependent on him. He is the most wonderful man. He wanted me to be happy, was always supporting me, but unconsciously, he wanted it to be us all the time. And I think this is very common. I don't know how it is for you. Maybe you are in a marriage where it looks like this. I meet so many women who are stuck in a relationship on these conditions. And being forced to ask for money when you are 50 plus, it is so shameful. You don't do all the things that you want to do because you don't want to ask. So I worked really hard to build up a new business so I could earn my own money and be independent. But I never really succeeded because I was not in a good place with myself. I really didn't know what I wanted. I was so much into comparing myself to others and judging myself for all the mistakes I had done that had taken me to the place where I was. And of course, I was scrolling a lot on social media. I saw all these women who was successful, living this wonderful life. We had friends who had great relationships and they were both working, they both had their money, and the woman had her freedom. It takes a lot of courage to start all over once you are 50 plus, 60 plus, wherever you are in your life. So what do you do? Maybe you are sitting there scrolling on social media. And I actually heard something really, really interesting the other day, that we women, maybe it is the same for men, I don't know. But this article was about women, how we scroll on social media about 3 kilometers each day. That is insane. If you are one of them who is scrolling 3 kilometers a day on social media, then that leads up to 1,000 kilometers a year on social media, just scrolling. So all those kilometers watching other women living their life, what does it do to us? I can tell you one thing, that comparing and competing is the biggest killer of self-love. If you are in a place in your life when you are trying to love yourself and with your other hand you're scrolling, then stop doing that. You can set the intention when you go out to social media to just get inspired. But as soon as you catch yourself with comparing and catch yourself in the feeling of, oh, I'm not as good as them, then you need to just put the phone down. And you are not alone doing this. Everyone is doing this. Are you that woman who's for many, many years been that great mom, the perfect wife, the good friend, and you made a career and you've been there for everyone else but yourself? And now you feel kind of lost. you don't really know who you are, and you certainly don't feel that life has a meaning. You're just looking for answers. You're here searching. You are asking your friends, you're asking colleagues. Maybe you are thinking about starting a business, or maybe you're even thinking about retiring. You're thinking about changing things in your life, but you are afraid of making a mistake. You are scared to not make the right choice, so you feel stuck. But here's the truth. You will never ever find the right choice for you as long as you are looking for it outside of you. You will only find the answers within. And after I left my husband and spent many weeks out in nature, just giving myself time to figure out who I am and what I want, things started to come to me. But we were not taught to ask ourselves. We learn to ask everyone around us. So that's what we do, right? And we don't only ask others, we watch others, how they live their life. And now we are back to this comparing again. And I know that I fell into this trap of jealousy when I did that. And I felt so guilty when I did that. I felt like being jealous is something really negative. But what I have learned recently is that jealousy can actually help you, to guide you in your life. How, I hear you ask? Listen now. If you find yourself being jealous of a friend living her life in this beautiful country home, and each time you see this, you feel this jealousy, maybe that's something you would like. You see, what I learned is that you will never be jealous of something you don't want. I would never be jealous on anyone having these luxury boats. There are so many luxury yachts and big sailing boats and motorboats here on Mallorca, where I am now. And when I go around in a harbor sometimes and I watch them, and I feel zero jealous, because I would never, ever, no matter how much money I had, I don't want a boat like that. So I'm not jealous. And if someone is buying this luxury apartment or penthouse in the middle of London, I'm not jealous, because I don't want to live like that. That is not my dream. So if you are in a place where you don't really know what you want in life, when you scroll on social media and you see something that makes you a little jealous, stop for a moment and ask yourself, is that something I would like? Is that something I would like to do? Is that how I want to live my life? So use jealousy as inspiration. Let jealousy guide you. And once you find out what it is you want, then it's time to be brave and make a decision and take aligned action. I will link in the description to a video about building confidence, because that's what we need. We need to be brave. We need to be courageous. We want to grow bolder, not older, right? I love that expression. Grow bolder, not older. Because we midlife women, we will probably live all the way to our 90s. So why not make sure that we do what we want to do? You want to go out there and do what you love. But finding out what we love after being someone who spent all your time being there for everyone else, as a mother, as a wife, as a grandmother, as a businesswoman, as a friend, who's always there for your friends. It can be challenging to one day ask yourself, what would I love? But that is the thing we need to do. If you don't give yourself time to find out what your heart desires, your life will continue the same way year after year after year. Don't expect things to change by itself. It won't. Life will just keep happening to you. You will only get more of the same if you do not become aware of who you are and what you want, and making the brave decision to make the changes. Think about it. There is only now. The past is gone and the future is not here. This is the moment. This is the moment to make a choice. And my advice for you, Queen, is to give you more time to pause and breathe and relax and reflect and feel into what you want. And again, use this jealousy as a guide next time you scroll on social media. I remember how it was for me when I was scrolling and I saw so many people traveling the world in their vans. And I was so fascinated about what a freedom life they had created. But at the same time, I thought, no, you can't do that in my age. So I stepped back and thought, no. But over and over, I felt drawn to this kind of lifestyle. And this is now 4 years ago, and I'm still living in my van. And if anyone had said that to me 5 years ago, that Marie, you will live permanently in a van, I would just have laughed and said, that's crazy. It will never happen. But it was the freedom I was after. So when I felt jealous watching all these young people living in the van, traveling Europe, I started to dream, like, can I do that? Can that be a lifestyle for me? I wanted the freedom. I wanted to be free and not having to ask anyone for permission to go anywhere. So it's never too late. It's never too late to make a big change in your life. And I actually gathered the last few months the steps that I have used on my journey. I created an ebook which I called Freedom After 50. So you will find it in the description, the link to it. These steps has been so valuable for me, and I know it will help you to understand where to start. Because that's the thing, right? How do I start? What shall I do? How shall I do? And to be honest with you, you don't need to know all the how. But you need to start with finding out who you are and what is your desire. And then you take it from there. Thank you so much for being here, for watching my videos, for subscribing and liking and commenting. I really, really appreciate you. And if you like this video, I am sure that you will like this one as well.